ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीराम जय जय राम। 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 जय जय राम। जय जय राम। ॐ रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। ॐ श्रीरामचन्द्राय नमः। अतुलितबलधामं हेमशैलाभदेहं दनुजवनकृशानुं ज्ञानिनामग्रगण्यं सकलगुणनिधानं वानराणामधीशं रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातन्नमामि। रघुपतिप्रियभक्तं वातजातन्नमामि। ॐ श्रीहनुमते नमः। ॐ ध्यायामि चिन्मयानन्दं गुरुदेवं महामतिं प्रेमपूर्णं क्रियाशीलं सदा लोकहिते रतं कृपालुं सुन्दराकारं समर्थं सत्यदर्शिनं वाचा तत्त्वप्रकाशिन्या शोकमोहविनाशिनम्। ॐ श्रीचिन्मयसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ नमः श्रीतुलसीदास सद्वरिष्ठाय धीमते पूरितं हृदयं येन रामप्रेमामृतेन मे। ॐ श्रीतुलसीदासाय नमः। Hari Om, a warm welcome to today's session. We saw yesterday in the 75th Doha, Matu Charana Sirunai Chale Turata Sankita Hridaya Bagura Vishamaturai Manahu Bhaga Mrigu Bhaga Basa. Matu Charana Sirunai. Lakshmanji offered his pranams, his namaskarams, his prostrations at the feet of the mother. Chale Turata Sankita Hridaya. He was so delighted, and with that delighted heart, with that joyful heart. Why joyful? Because mother has given permission. Ramchandraji has given permission. What more is required? Now he can be with his Bhagavan for all time to come. Bhagura Vishamaturai Manahu Bhaga Mrigu Bhaga Basa. And with that beautiful feeling in his heart, in his mind, he went. Now see, yesterday we saw how glorious is Kaushalya ji, how glorious is Sita ji, how glorious is Sumitra ji, and now we see how glorious is even Urmila ji. Yesterday we saw how wonderful she was. When Lakshman ji asked Sumitra ji, Valmiki ji writes a very beautiful shloka on this. He says, Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. Sumitra ji says, Ramam Dasharatham Vidhi. Hey Lakshmana, from now Rama is like your Dasharatha, meaning he is your father. Mam Vidhi Janakatmajam. Me who is your mother is now Janakatmaja, who is Sita ji. Ayodhya Amitavim Vidhi. Ayodhya is what? Amitavim. The forest is your Ayodhya. Gachatata yathasukam. Go, my dear lovely son. Enjoy your stay with Bhagavan. Yathasukam. As you wanted to be. Continuing. गए लखनु जह जानकी नाथु भेमन मुदित पाई प्रिय साथु बंदी राम सिय चरण सुहाये चले संग नृप मंदिर आये कहीं परस्पर पुर नर नारी भली बनाई विधि बात बिगारी तन कृस मन दुख बदन मलीने विकल मनहु माखी मधु छीने करमी जहि सिरु धुनि पछिताही जनु बिनु पंख बिहग अकुलाही भई बड़ी भीर भूप दरबारा भरनी न जाई विषादु अपारा सचिव उठाई राव बैठारे कही प्रिय बचन राम पगुधारे सिय समीत दो तनय निहारी व्याकुल भयउ भूमिपति भारी सीय सहित सुत सुभग दोऊ देखी देखी अकुलाई बारही बार सने बस रावुले उरलाई गए लखनु. Lakshmana, having prostrated at the feet of his mother, he straight went Janaki Nathu. Jaha Janaki Nathu, where Ramchandra was there. Janaki Natha, the Lord of Janaki, Ramchandra ji was there. Bhemana mudita pai priya sathu. He was so glad at heart to find himself in the company of his beloved brother. Bandi Ramasiya Charana Suhaye. Ram Charana Suhaye. He fell at the feet of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji and Sita ji. Chale Sanganrupa Mandira Aaye. And he accompanied both of them, Ramchandra and Sita ji, to the king's palace, Dasharath ji's palace. Kahi paraspara pura naranari. Pura naranari, the men and women of the city of Ayodhya, they spoke to each other. Bhali banai bidi bata bigari. How strange is God. How mysterious is this God. He almost fulfilled our desire of making Ramchandra ji as the Yuvaraja, but Tanakrasamana dukho badane maline. And she shattered that idea itself by sending Rama to the forest. And all of them were so down. Their bodies represented their weakness and the weakness of the mind also, the sorrowful heart. And they were feeling so miserable, which was felt by each other. Both of them miseries are the same. Therefore, they could feel the misery. All the Ayodhya Vasis. Bikala manahu makhi madhuchine just as the bee with great effort brought, the honey, and then it filled the beehive, and the beehive is now full of honey. At that time, here comes a person who came and robbed away all the honey from the beehive. Karami jahi sirudhuni pachitayi. And they were all, Mijahi, they twisted their hand, Siru Dhuni Pachitai, they were beating their head out of sorrow. Jatu binu pankha bihaga akulai. Like, the wings of the bird was cut off. We will see Jatayuji, whose wing also will be cut off later in the Sundarakanda. Just as the wings of the bird was cut off, the bird has fallen down so helplessly, so pathetic was the condition. Similarly, were the condition of all those Ayodhya Vasis. Bhai badi bhira bhupadarabara. Bhai badi bhira, meaning what? Lot of crowd started flowing towards the Darbar hall, the entrance of the palace. Baranina jai bishadu apara. Their grief, baranina jai, it cannot be expressed. Sachiva uthai rau baithare. We know Sachiva, Sumantraji, he came and rau uthare. The king Dasharatha was fallen down, crying, beating his head. All that was going on continuously. He didn't know what else to do. At that time, Sumantraji goes there, the minister, and then he slowly lifts Dasharatha and slowly, politely, soft voice, he tells him, Rama has come. Ramu pagudhare. Rama has come. Siyasameta dovu tanaya nihari. Along with Sita, dovu tanaya, Dasharatji saw both the sons, the brothers, and Nihari, he saw them. Vyakula bhayav bhumipati bhari. Again, he was so distressed, and he was so painful, all the more by seeing both of them. This happens very much. Whenever we think of something, this one we are worried. At that time, if that person comes there, naturally we find so many people going and hugging and crying loudly, etc. This is exactly what happened to Dasharatha also. Siya sahita suta subhaga dovu dekhi dekhi akulai. The king, when he looked at his sons and Sita, felt more and more agitated. More and more he gazed at them, the more and more he was distressed. Barahi barasane habasa raule uralai. Overwhelmed with so much of grief and emotion, he embraced his two sons again and again, because now they are going to go away. He cannot see them again. How painful it would be. So he embraced them again and again. Sakaina boli bikala naranahu sokha janita uradarunadahu naisi supadati anuraga uthira gubira bidata bamaga Pituvasisa ayasu mohidi jai harsha samaya bisamaya kataki jai Tata kiye priya prema prasadu jasu jagajayi hoi apavadu suni saneha basa uthi naranaha Baithare raghupati gahi baha सुनहु तात तुम कहि मुनि कहि रामु चराचर नायक अहि सुबरु अशुभ करम अनुहारी ईसु देई फलु हृदय बिचारी करई जो करम पाव फल सोई निगम नीति असि कह सब कोई और करें अपराधु को और पाव फल भोगु अति विचित्र भगवंत गति को जग जाने जोगु. Tulsidas ji, even though he wanted to write the entire this one beautifully, joyfully, cheerfully, because Ramchandraji was his Ishta Devata, there are certain places where even he gets stuck to find the appropriate words to explain. Therefore, he says, Sakaina Boli. This Sakaina Boli is something, wherever it comes, it means even Tulsidas ji was stuck. He was choked with emotions, just as the king also was choked with emotions. Bikalana Rahu, Soka Janita Ura Daru Dahu. It was a terrible agony. Tulsidas ji also keeps repeating because he's finding words, he's unable to find and express them. Therefore, he repeats the same thing. How many times it happens when we are all so sorrowful, we keep repeating. Similarly was Dasharatha ji. Naisi supada ati anuraga. Naisisu, again most affectionately bowing his head to his father, Bhagavan Ramchandraji, Uthi Raghubira Bidatab Maga, the hero of the Raghu's race, Raghubira, he then rose. He got up from his place and Ramchandraji asked Dasharatha, please give us the permission to proceed towards the woods, towards the forest. Pitu asisa ayasu mohidi jai harsha samaya bisamaya kataki jai. Hey Pitu, O father, Asis, please give us blessings, dijay. Asis dijay, ayasu mohidi jai. Please give me the command. Tell me, give me the command. Harasham samaya bisamau katakije. While you should be very happy. It is a jubilation. Why? Your son is obeying your words. True, isn't it? These days, the sons, the way they behave with their father, they even beat the father these days. Shantam Papa. Isn't it? Whereas he says, it is your jubilation time. Why? Your son is sincerely obeying your orders and removing you of all the kalanka. If I don't go to forest, there will be kalanka on you. I am removing that. It is a jubilation time. Why are you crying? Tata kiye priya prema prasadu. By following the path, you should be careful. Don't get attached. Don't get attached, because of attachment you will lose everything. Jasu jagajai hoi apavadu. If you don't follow the rules, then what happened? Hoi apavadu. Your reputation will fall. And people will only abuse you. The abuse will get increased day by day and it will spread all over. Good news doesn't spread. But bad news spreads like a wildfire. And it is very difficult to handle. Today we know in Los Angeles, in the other portion of our globe, other side of our globe, there is so much of forest fire. So many countries are being, tapped to give them the way how to, close this forest fire, how to put down this forest fire. Similarly is the attachment. Attachment is a forest fire. It will burn away everything. The fire will not know who is great, who is low, who is wealthy, who is a pauper. Fire will not know whoever you may be. It will just burn away. Similar is desire. Similar is attachment. Beware of your attachments. A lesson which you and I have to learn very clearly and be careful of our attachment, because our attachment will only burn ourselves. Think. Beware. Therefore, Suni saneha basa uthi naranaha. Hearing this, the king slowly got up. Baithare Raghupati gahi baha. And holding Rama by the arm, he embraced him. He made him sit down next to him. Sunahu tata tuma kaha muni kahahi. My dear lovely son, hey Rama, listen. About you, the sages have told me, they have declared about you. Who? Vishwamitra and Vashishta ji have told Dasharatha. What have they told? Ramu chara chara nayaka ahahi. Bhagavan Rama is Lord of the entire creation of both chara achara, animate and inanimate, moving and immovable. He is the Lord. The rishis have told. It has not been told by some Tom, Dick and Harry. The greatest accomplished Santa Purushas, Vishwamitra ji and Vashishta ji, they have told me. Subha aru asubha karama anuhari. It is this Bhagavan who rewards all results of our actions. Shubha and Ashubha, good or bad, based on our actions. The karma phala is blessed by Bhagavan. Remember, our actions, we are the ones who decide to do. And therefore, once we do any action, any karma, karma phala is guaranteed. Is blessed by God only, good or bad. This is one way of looking. Isu Dei Phalu Hridaya Bichari. Bhagavan, Isu, Ishvara, he blesses the karma phala based on the karma. Not because I am looking smart, not because I am looking beautiful, not because I have spent a lot of money on so much of painting in the face. Not because I am very ajanubavu, long arms and beautiful and handsome. All that doesn't matter. What is your action and what is the attitude behind that action? Based on that attitude, based on that action, karma phala will come. Bhagavan has no partiality. He also says, I don't know, you decide what you want. Like the plug point where you plug in, maybe charging your mobile, or setting up a pedestal fan, or setting up a camera, charging the camera, computer, amplifier, whatever it may be. You just plug in according to the gadget, power just comes. Based on the gadgets, that power enlivens the gadget. And in this case, based on your actions, Bhagavan will only bless karma phala. Isudei phalu hridaya bichari. Karai jo karma pava phala soi. Nigama niti asi kaha sab koi. He alone who sows the seed will enjoy the result, the crop. If I sow mango seed, I will only get mango fruit, mango tree in that. Is it not? No, no, no. I want mango tree, but I don't have the seed of mango. Therefore, I will put orange seed, but I want mango. How can it be? As you sow, so you reap. Similarly, as I perform karma, karma phala, karma plus attitude. Bhava is very important. The attitude is very important. Very many times we perform karma because it was a duty that was performed. We may not have any wrong or right attitude towards it. The way laborers work, they just work for their money. They have no attachment or desire or look into, this will be very beautiful, that will be very good, this house is beautifully constructed, I am also one laborer who is constructing. He will construct and go away, that's it. For him, his attitude is phala. But every human being, whatever he performs with a appropriate attitude, that karma will bring karma phala. Think, actions performed will bring an equal and opposite reaction. What is that reaction? Karma phala. Therefore, I want something, based on what I want should be my action. Think. Nigamaniti asikaha sab koi. Even the Vedas also declare what? Karma will bring karma phala accordingly. Therefore decide. The karta alone enjoys the bhoga and karta alone becomes the bhokta. I do good things, karma phala to him. How can it be? I do wrong things, all karma phala to the other person. My God, what a disaster will be this universe. What a chaos will be in this universe. Therefore, nigam nityasikaha sab koi karai jo karma pava phala soi. The one who sows will reap what he has sown. Aur karai aparadhu ko aur pava phala bhogu अति विचित्र भगवंत गति को जग जाने जो. In case we find that one commits an offense and the other suffers the fruit, then there is something wrong there. Ati vichitra bhagavantagati. This Bhagavan's results are ati vichitra. It is a mystery. It's a mystery. Why? Ko jaga jane jo. Ramchandra ji, what has he done? Somebody, Dasharatha has done the mistake of giving the boon to Kaikeyi, and Ramchandra ji had to go to forest. Ati vichitra. राय राम राखन हित लागी बहुत उपाय किए चलु त्यागी लखी राम रुख रहत न जाने धर्म दुरंधर धीर सयाने तब नृपसीय लाई उरलीनी अतिहित बहुत भांति सिख दीनी कही बन के दुख दुसह सुनाए सासु ससुर पितु सुख समुझाए सिय मनु राम चरण अनुरागा धरुन सुगमु बनु विषमु न लागा और वो सब ही सिय समुझाई कहीं कहीं विपिन विपति अधिकाई सचिव नारी गुर नारी सयानी सहित स्नेह कहि मृदुबानी तुम कहूँ तो न दीन बन बासु, करहूँ जो कहीं ससुर गुर सासु। सिख शीतली हित मधुर मृदु, सुनि सीत ही न सुहानी। सरद चंद चंदिनी लगत, जनु चकई अकुलानी। राय राम राखन हित लागी. Raya, the king, sincerely tried in every possible way to, hold on Ramchandra ji to not go to the forest. He tried his best to retain Rama. Bahuta upaya kiye chalu tyagi. लखी राम रुख रहत न जाने, धर्म धुरंधर धीर सयाने. But he understood. He discovered what Rama's intention, and he came to know clearly Rama is not going to stay back, he will go. Think. Dharma Dhurandara. He is a champion of dharma, righteousness. Dhira, man of fortitude, steadfastness, and Sayani, very, very strong minded, and Sayani, foresighted. Meaning what? He can know what is going to happen. Sachram, tab nripasiya lai uralinhi. When Ram is not going to stay, he cannot convince Rama. Dasharatha turned towards Sita ji. Now see, Tabandripa, Siyalai Uralahi, he caught hold of his daughter-in-law, Sita ji, and he held her close to him. Atihita bahuta bhati sikadini. Very, very convincingly, very, very lovingly, he spoke to her in very many ways to convince her. Kahibana ke dukha dusaha sunai. He gave lot of instances of the pain and suffering which one will undergo when they are in the forest. So many instances he said. Sasu sasura pitu sukha samujhaye. He explained to her how beautiful it will be if she stays with her father-in-law and mother-in-law, and she will also be happy in the palace. She would not undergo any pain or something, except yes, she might be missing Rama in our language, but she will be very happy. Siyamanu Rama Charana Anuraga. Sitaji's mind, however, is completely absorbed in who? In what? At the feet of Bhagavan Shri Ramchandra ji. Gharuna sugamu banu bishamuna laga. Hence, neither home nor all these people's beautiful words and all the fanciful things that she can see around, nothing seems to be attractive in her. Why? For her, everything is Ramchandra ji alone. Nothing. Therefore, there was no repulsive attitude in Sita ji hearing to all these things. She has fixed her mind. Auravu sabahi siya samujhayi, kahi kahi bipina bipati adhikayi. When everyone saw that she is not listening to her father-in-law, very many times this happens. The daughter, the son, or the daughter-in-law, or the son-in-law normally don't listen to their father or the father-in-law or the mother-in-law. This is a very common feature at home. But when the neighbor comes and says, then they think and say, okay. May not be very wholeheartedly, but why? Because a third person is coming and saying. How many times it must have happened in our lives also? So, other people thought, okay, let me involve myself in telling her, to convince her. Auro sabahi siya samujhayi. They tried to convince her. They tried to explain to her. Kahi kahi bipina bipati adhikayi. And very, very, very many miseries Which one I have to undergo in the forest? Everybody said. Everybody gave their own version of the pain which can undergo, which Sita might undergo. Sachivanari Guranari Sayani. Even Sumantra's wife, even she also tried to explain. Gura, Vasishtaji's consort, Arundhati, even Arundhati Devi also tried to convince her. Everybody, the wives of all very, very wonderful people, everybody tried to explain to her. Sahita Saneha Kahahi Mridubani, with lot of love. Now, this is very important, you see. Even saying something, when you say it with love, not for the just for the sake of saying, wonderful example I'll give you. Your son or daughter has to go for the exam. Now exam seasons are going to start. Remember this, huh? Exam seasons are going to start. If at all by mistake, if such samskara has come into them and they come and do namaskaram before going to the examination hall. Imagine the father says, God alone knows what you have written or what you have studied and what you have prepared yourself. In Kannada say, Devre kapadbeku. God alone should protect you. If such kind of an ashirvada is given, how discouraging it would be. Isn't it? Everybody gave advice to Sita ji with love. However, Sita ji's mind is away from all these things. She has already stuck herself at the feet of Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra ji. Nothing will help her. Tumaka hutaona deena banabasu. Karahunja kahai sasura gura sasu. Everybody, nobody has exiled you, Sita. Nobody has told you, get out of the palace. Nobody told you, go with Rama, don't be here, get out. Nobody told you, hey Sita, karahujo kahahi sasura gura sasu. Please do what the father-in-law, mother-in-law and guru, even guru is telling you. Won't you listen to the guru? These days nobody listens to the guru. That is a different issue. And they will be first against the guru only these days. Think. Guru is telling you, won't you listen? Everybody said, Sikha Sita Lihita Madura Mridu Suni Sita Hina Sohani. All this soothing advice, beautiful advice, friendly advice, captivating advice also, consoling advice. None of them had any effect, even though it was for the very welfare and safety of Sita ji. None of them could affect in Sita ji. Why? She never allowed it to go and reach her ears or even head. Why? She closed her mind. Decision is made. Full stop. Period. Sarada chanda chandini lagata janu chakai akulani. It as though, it was like the rays of autumn moon had touched a female chakravaka bird. Janu chakai akulani. And, there is this chakuva and chakuvi, the birds. The male bird is called chakuva in the North Indian Bhasha. Chakuvi, the female chakravaka bird. A very strange thing is there in this particular type of bird. When the night comes, meaning in Sandhya Kala, which is actually the appropriate time for romance, people say. At that time, the chakuvi will turn its face on the other side and the chakua bird, it will also turn on the other side and they pass the whole night not looking at each other. Vichitram. And therefore, the bird becomes very restless and the morning dawns. When the morning dawns, they start flying. Therefore, it becomes so restless. Similarly, like the Chakuvi bird, Sita ji became more and more restless by listening to all these words only. And she never gives up her stand. Now, before I conclude for today, there is one very, very, very important lesson that we learned in this particular episode. What is that? Even though the samskaras very strong in everybody in those days, remember, women had the freedom to decide. Look at this. The women had the freedom to decide, and they had the freedom to stay put with their decision, with their decision, and the men folk had no choice but to accept. Sita ji put her foot down. That's it. Look at Urmila ji. Urmila ji also could have put her foot down and go with it, but she decided differently. Be very attentive. Sita ji put her foot down and said, I will go with Rama. Urmila decided, I will not go with Lakshmana. Think. And both of them had equal depth of love in them towards their respective husbands. But Sita ji decided differently. Urmila ji decided differently. Both of them stayed put with their decision, and the world had to accept the decision. Meaning, Stree Shakti is very powerful. And even those days, Stree had the freedom to decide what she wants. Even now, even in these days, Stree only decides. But normally, with due respects and consideration to all those who are taking good decisions, normally we find the family goes chaotic because of unintelligent decisions. Think. Sita ji, Urmila ji, both of them took intelligently a decision which is good for them and for the others. Very much to their husbands. Think. Stree Shakti is powerful. Stree is definitely endowed with intelligence. But more often than not, what we see during this era is Stree takes decisions out of ego and not out of analysis. Those women who take decisions with analysis, they must be appreciated. They must be encouraged. They must be inspired. But how often do they take the right decision remains questionable. Think. We will meet tomorrow. All right. सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय, बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय।